What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Core Class Steeljaw. Now this is one of Blaster's cassettes. This is one of the cassettes obviously we've been waiting for a while. I believe there's one or two more left. I can't remember Blaster's cassettes off the top of my head, but obviously as essentially Soundwave's rival and antithesis, you can see here that this is one that we've been waiting for, and it's nice to finally get Steeljaw in the collection. So taking a look at the box here, you can see the very nice artwork of Steeljaw with the Studio Series stuff. The background, I believe, is again the ship scene. You do have Steeljaw, Transformers the movie, Autobot logo, Studio Series, Transformers. You have more nice artwork here of Steeljaw, more nice artwork here on the side, and finally your obligatory product shots, transforms in 6 steps. But as per usual, I always think that Hasbro kills it with the box, and so without further ado, alrighty folks, here we have Steeljaw. Now where is he? But, well, since he's a cassette, thought I'd introduce him by showing you my Kingdom Blaster. I don't have SS86. Didn't really care enough to get SS86 Blaster, considering I'm perfectly fine with the Kingdom one, because they're the exact same mold. The SS86 one just has minor, like, paint improvements, I believe. And so, to get him out, just gotta press Blaster's chest here. Now, my Blaster's finicky, but there you go. And here is Steeljaw, and finally we're gonna just pull him out here, and here he is in his cassette mode. It does look very nice. I do really like how it looks, and I can't really complain all too much about it. So by the way, me having the Kingdom version of Blaster means I do not have the non-transparent version of Eject, so I apologize for that. But as you can see, he does look really nice. You can see some very nice molded detail across the board. That nice red there, the gray is pretty nice. Again, it just looks like a fine cassette. Now, there has been a good amount of discussion regarding this guy, and some QC issues, mainly with fitting inside of Blaster's chest. Now, when you're trying to fit mine, I currently don't see any stress marks, but I know that there are some people who have reported that trying to fit Steeljaw in their Blaster's chest, specifically the SS86 one or the Kingdom one, they're the same mold, guys. Like, even I assume the tolerances are pretty much exactly the same. People have reported seeing stress marks inside of the chest, I believe. For mine, it's like in between. It doesn't, you have to do it where the gray bits here are facing inside. You can't really fit him in there by doing it the opposite way. So if I had the gray bit facing down, I guess it can. Okay. Because I guess I might have not been doing it correctly before. But basically mine, I don't know. It feels fine. But at the same time, there are times when I am trying to fit this where I am scared that it will get ruined, specifically Blaster. But other than that, it's okay. Again, I know that there's people who've reported that their Steeljaws do not fit inside of their Blasters, and that is a bit of a shame. So I really do feel bad for those, and that shouldn't be a thing that happens. But unfortunately, it has to some people I've seen on Twitter. So I definitely sympathize with you guys, because that really, that really does suck. I'm just one of the lucky few who's Steeljaw was able to fit inside. I don't know exactly. Maybe it's, I don't know exactly why it would. Maybe it's Blaster's fault. Maybe it's more, I think it's more Steeljaw's fault at the end of the day. But again, you can see the nice Autobot logo. Again, the nice gray on the other side. You have these which will become his Blasters. As a cassette, he looks perfectly fine. But he doesn't look the most cassette accurate, right? He's not like, he really models after a real cassette or anything like that. So at the end of the day, it does look really, really nice though. And so we're going to do some comparisons, and I'm not going to do any cutting because this guy's just a core class cassette. We're just going to do this. So here he is with Eject. So this is obviously the transparent version. You can see these two are basically the same size, right? You can see right there. We'll do that. There he is with Eject, his buddy Eject. We're going to set that guy off to the side. Here he is with Frenzy. So if you have the Rumble, this is how these two scale together. Yep, these are perfectly fine. They scale just perfectly together. Both cassette size. And for someone a bit older, here he is with Ravage. So you can see there he is with Ravage like that. So yeah, when it comes to comparisons and his size, he's perfectly fine. Again, to me, the only issue really is that fitting in there. Mine sometimes doesn't feel like it wants to fit. Other times it fits in just snug, like you just saw earlier. Some people, again, have reported unfortunate, QC issues with that. So at the end of the day, it does suck, and I do feel bad, but I really hope that you guys are able to rectify those, or I hope Hasbro will eventually be able to rectify that, because that is something that shouldn't happen, right? Like, at the end of the day, whoever has QC issues where it can't fit inside their blaster's chest, that really sucks, right? It shouldn't happen. So, other than that, though, he does look great, and I am happy with how he looks in his cassette mode. And so, without further ado, because these guys are so simple, we'll get into the transformation. So, very simple. First thing I like to do is you can flip these around for his head, and then what you can do is you can rotate them up and push them together, and then all you have to do is rotate this up. Then after this, I like to rotate the back legs down, and then you can rotate the front legs down. And then what you can do is take these sections, and then this is, I always have trouble with this, you can rotate these all the way around like so, and again take the blasters, rotate them all the way around like so. And one of the accessories that he comes with to complete his look is he actually comes with one of these. So he comes with this, and then all you have to do, there's a peg there, and then you do have a peg hole right there, the 5mm, and then you can just tab that right in, and move blaster off to the back there. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series 86 Core Class Steeljaw in his Beast Mode. I gotta say, guys, this guy looks really, really good. This is very accurate, and I really do like how this looks. I think they got it just right, and this is a really nice detail. Like, I'm very happy that this is a thing that is possible, right? Like, that's really, like, sorry, excuse me. I'm really happy that Steeljaw here is as accurate as he is, and I'm happy that they added this so that you get the full cartoon accuracy, because more than likely, you will have this guy in his Beast Mode rather than being an actual cassette. You know, you might have one cassette inside of Blaster's chest, and then you have the one minion here, but I like to have most of the minions out and about, because it just, you know, adds to the display. And so for me, I will never really have this guy in this cassette mode, and this will be his permanent mode. So really, really nice. So taking a look at the detail, you can see the nice face. I'll try my best to point that out, but you can see the nice face, the nice Autobot logo, the nice gray here. Detail is also pretty nice considering how small this guy is. So overall, really, really nice, and I do like how this guy looks. So overall, I think he's pretty well done for his Beast Mode here. And so we're gonna do some comparisons, and just like with this guy, I'm gonna cut, but just to transform all these guys real quick, and then I'll rapid fire through them. You'll just see me move them in, because I don't think it's necessarily worthy of the full, like, cross-dissolve transition. So I'm just going to transform these guys, and you will see comparisons here in a second. Alrighty, folks, here he is with Eject. As you can see, they look really nice together. Again, you probably will get the better, you know, more, obviously the cartoon accurate version, more looking at the SS86 Eject rather than this one. But these two do look very nice together, and I can't complain about that. So we'll remove these there. I'll get this guy out of the way, and we will bring in Mr. Frenzy here. Again, these two also look very nice together. The core class stuff works very nicely, especially when it comes to the cassette. So comparing him to the other cassettes, this guy fits very well. And then finally, the last one we obviously have here is Ravage, the other four-legged cassette that we have so far. And these two also look very nice together, so I can't really complain all too much about that as well. So very, very happy to have all of these guys in the collection. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. So just move him out of the way. And so when it comes to the accessories that come extra, you do get this with him. So you do get like this big sound blaster, which is pretty cool. So what you do to equip this, you just remove this part that you initially equipped for the transformation, and then all you gotta do is peg this on as well, and there you go. You do have Steeljaw with this. Now this is really cool, but they needed something to justify the price point, very similar to the pillars for Rumble and Frenzy, and so this is the way that they do it. But it still looks very, very cool, and I'm very, very happy with this. Now, yes, I wanted to reconfirm this, so I just skimmed through a quick review. So what you can do also is you can remove this, and it just pegs on here. So you have this little peg hole right there, and then you do have the tab on there. You can actually give it to Blaster, and then you just gotta peg it into this hand. Is it this way? I believe it's this way. Yeah, it's this way. So you see these rivets here. You just gotta plug this in like so, like that, and there you go. And you can have Blaster wielding this if you so wish. It's pretty cool that they added that functionality. Like, that's really neat, and I'm glad that that's like a thing. But for the most part, this will just stay in a box for me. I just care to have Steeljaw in his regular form without the big little cannon on his back. Again, all you gotta do is just peg that in like so. So Oh, whoops, other side, like that. That's all you gotta do. So yeah, it's cool that they added that. I don't really care all that much for it. And again, it's cool that they add the functionality into blasters for you to be able to give him essentially an extra weapon. But this will more than likely just stay in the box. But the gold paint's really nice. That's one thing I didn't point out. The gold paint is gorgeous. So very cool. And so I know this review has sort of been like freebally and like hasn't been many cuts or anything, but it's a core class cassette. I think I know that I did like more of an event for Frenzy, but especially because this is a part of Blaster. I don't know. I feel like it feels better for me to do it like this than to have all these insane cuts or anything like that. I just feel it's more. I don't know. For the cassettes, I might end up if they make more. This will probably be the more style for the cassettes because they. Obviously, to me, they do deserve a full review, but it shouldn't. I don't think it's necessarily as robust as what you would probably expect from a deluxe, a Voyager, or Elite, or Commander, stuff like that. So to get into the reverse transformation, actually, well, the one thing we'll get into here is the articulation. You can just move his legs back and forth. That's it. So there's not really much articulation to this guy. It's cool, and he looks cool in his stack mode, but very much like Ravage, there's really not much articulation besides moving the legs. So yeah, that's about it for the articulation, and so we're just going to get into the reverse transformation, and the first thing to do is to remove that. Next thing I like to do is rotate the blasters around, like so. Rotate them around, like so, and then what I like to do is I flip up the front legs first, and then you can flip the back ones, like that. Oh, come on. Work with me here. There we go. And then all you gotta do is split the head. I'll rotate it and then split the head and then just fold that in. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have Steeljaw back in his cassette mode. And so, guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series 86 Core Class Steeljaw, this guy is just fine. The major issue I have with this thing is just primarily the QC that I've seen with it. It's a real shame that there are people who have gotten copies that will not fit inside of their blaster's chest, and that really does suck. And I do feel bad for all of you out there who have that, and I hope you're able to fix it or you get a new copy that's better, But you shouldn't have to do either of those things in the first place. It just sucks that you're in that position. And I definitely sympathize with you. Luckily for me, I'm one of the people who did get a Steeljaw that was able to fit inside their blaster's chest, so that's very nice. But when you compare him alongside the other cassettes, when you're comparing him, I think the ones you should be comparing this guy to are mainly going to be Frenzy and Rumble. This guy is just the same as those guys. It's a core class cassette, and they are obviously smaller than regular core class figures. But the thing is, when it comes to Steeljaw, the difference is when you have to justify that price point, you have to add that big blaster. And luckily, what I like about the big sound blaster is that you can actually give it to Blaster. When it came to Frenzy and Rumble, obviously they're pile drivers, not their pillars. I said pillars earlier. Pile drivers will just be unique to them, right? And that's really cool. But even for Frenzy, I don't use the pile drivers because I actually like displaying Rumble with the pile drivers and Frenzy with his guns. That's how I like to display them. Helps differentiate besides the color. But with those, you can't really use them outside of that. Like, there's no way to use those pile drivers outside of those uses besides giving them to Frenzy and Rumble. But with this guy, you at least have that extra functionality with his accessories, and you do get the nice accessory that also allows Steeljaw in his beast mode to be more cartoon accurate, and that's really cool, or just accurate to G1 in general. And so that's really cool all around, and I do think that this is a fine cassette. Again, it's just the QC stuff that really does hurt. So out of a 10, I'm probably going to give this guy like a 7. He's just fine. He's above average, but it's nothing special. Like, it's above average because it's cartoon accurate. The paint's nice. The accessories are really cool, but that QC really hurts it. So taking away those points for the QC, I think, is fair enough. But I still think he's great, and I definitely recommend you pick him up if you're looking to finish your cassette collection. And speaking of cassette collections, I don't think, guys, I'm going to end up picking up that reissued like third mold of Netflix Soundwave just to get Buzzsaw. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like, for sure, like, it would have been cool if I hadn't picked up Soundwave prior, but the fact is I have 2 laser beaks. I would have 3. I don't want to pay a Voyager, like, what's it, like $30 or $40 or $35 for just the cassette. Like, it feels really like bad. The only one I think of Soundwaves I'd be missing besides Buzzsaw would be Rat Bat. And so just want to let you guys know that since it was on my mind and we're obviously reviewing another cassette minion. So yeah, I think that's about it. So if you guys want to pick this guy up for yourself, I will leave links in the description to obviously to Big Bad Toy Store because that's where I picked this guy up. I will also leave links to Amazon as well as Hasbro Pulse. Again, if you guys want to pick this guy up, he should be hitting your retailers relatively soon considering I got him in the mail. So keep an eye out if you decide to hunt this guy IRL, and I definitely wish you the best of luck in doing so. And so yeah, I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, and once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.